Hi fashionistas, it's Nicole of Nicole Rachel Personal Stylists, and I'm a personal stylist for pageant contestants and women executives. In today's episode, I will be recapping my favorite looks from the Miss Universe 2025 pageant interview round. And there were a lot of stunning, head-turning interview looks, as there were a lot of contestants this year. Hence, more to choose from, and it was super hard for me to narrow it down to the number that I did, but for the sake of time, and so this video wouldn't be super lengthy, I had to cut it down. But best believe there were a lot of stunning looks that you could really draw a lot of inspiration from, especially if you're a pageant contestant. And these looks are in no particular order, and my hope is that if you are a pageant contestant, you can draw inspiration from the looks that I highlight in this video for your next pageant event, specifically the interview round, as it's very important when you go into the interview that what you have on and how you present yourself matches what's coming out of your mouth, and that your look is a presentation of your brand and your personality, and it really helps to enhance your story as you tell it verbally. So without further ado, here is my list. Nigeria. So I was reading that the inspiration behind this look had to do with her childhood and growth that she's experienced over the years. The pink is representative of her childhood, and there were flowers embroidered on one side of the dress, and that was supposed to represent growth. And I really love how she was able to tie in storytelling and also make this a super stylish standout blazer dress, not your typical run-of-the-mill blazer dress that you would see a pageant contestant wearing. And it really gave off a very fun and feminine energy, and she overall looked very stunning and chic. St. Lucia. So what really caught my eye about this look was the fabric and the sheen on the fabric, as well as the color. It's like a deep, rich purple, and the sleeves with the wide, almost cape-like detail on the bottom really gave this a very regal look. And I like how she had her hair up with this outfit. It really helped to enhance the outfit, and all eyes were on what she had on, as well as her great face structure. And this is a look that you can draw inspiration from if you want to look very polished and professional and sophisticated and feminine, but also very rich and give off luxurious vibes. This is a look to really draw inspiration from. So good job to St. Lucia. South Africa. I could not take my eyes off of this outfit. I was like, I realize it's a super simple look, but it was very chic and elegant. It kind of reminded me of the Audrey Hepburn look from Breakfast at Tiffany's with the black. Only thing is her dress had the white overlap up on the bodice part. But again, another super chic, simple yet elegant look that also made a statement because of the structure of the dress. It was fitted at the waist, and then it flared out, giving it an A-line look, and it was very figure flattering, as A-line looks good on just about every shape you can think of. And then I love the overall styling too, how she had her hair up and the makeup was flawless. So great job to South Africa. So Turks and Caicos. This was a breathtakingly beautiful look. When I saw it, I was like, oh, that is so unique and so gorgeous and very feminine. The silk gives structure without there being stiffness, and the color was beautiful. It was like a lilac shade, and it harmonized very well against her skin tone. And then the accents on the dress, like the big puff sleeves, made this a very memorable look. And I love the overall styling with how she had her hair slicked back in a sleek bun, and she kept her accessories minimal. And I also like the detailing at the bottom of the dress. It looked like it had jewel embellishments at the bottom. So this look from Japan was very bold and high fashion interpretation of interview dressing, and it worked great because it was very intentional from top to bottom. The dress featured a dark textured pattern with gold, kind of looked like gold veining almost. It was like reminiscent of Oriental art, and it also created a very power visual message: strength, elegance, and resilience. And the silhouette paired with the sharp thigh-high split, but just the right amount of chicness. And it's balanced by the structure of the neckline without being chaotic, and the color palette was very rich and editorial, making her stand out in a sea of pastels and neutrals often seen for interview portions of interviews, or for interview portions of pageants. And her soft, voluminous waves added glamour while keeping the focus on the dress's architecture. And the pointed black heels maintain the look's sleek, modern edge. And overall, this was an interview look for a contestant who wants to project confidence, artistry, and a strong sense of identity. It's very unique, memorable, and very runway meets pageant. So this look is a masterclass in balancing personality with professionalism. The floral bodice immediately brings freshness and vibrancy to the screen, perfect for an interview setting where you want to look memorable but still polished. And the single long sleeve adds asymmetry and visual interest, while the clean white pants ground the look and keep it sophisticated. And I really love the soft white sash detail across the waist. It creates structure and adds a feminine touch. And it subtly shapes the silhouette without overpowering her frame. And the matching floral handbag ties the entire look together and shows intentional styling from head to toe. And her hair, earrings, and overall grooming complemented the outfit beautifully. Nothing distracted or took away from the look. It all worked together. And this is a great example of how to infuse your personal style into an interview look while maintaining elegance, modernity, and stage presence. Namibia. So she said that the inspiration behind the suit that she wore for interview was the diamonds that are very prevalent in Namibia. And the rhinestone detailing really looked like diamonds within this suit, and it also really worked to enhance the overall look of the suit. And to me, it just gave an overall very polished and luxurious feel to it, given the rhinestone accents that look like diamonds, as well as the gold color and the rich sheen that the suit had on it. And then it was a very figure-flattering suit, as it cropped right at the waist, really giving her more of a cinched-in waist look. And this look said power and authority and queen with a touch of sophistication and overall class. So if you really want to portray yourself in a certain way, as well as also give a nod to your culture, this is the way to do it, by implementing key elements of whether it be your state or your country into your look, while also maintaining an air of sophistication like she managed to do. So great job to Namibia. Nicaragua. So I felt like the print on her suit had some cultural significance to it, and the gold detailing really popped against the sky blue backdrop of the suit. And to me, the structure of the suit with the high collar and how it was a very ladylike looking skirt suit really gave it first lady vibes with cultural references to it. And I really like how she had her hair tied up, given that she had a high neckline. And this is a great example of blending, representing your country well and giving nod to it, while also portraying feminine energy and sophistication into your look, and sending the message that you're very elegant and a great, classy representative of your country. So great job to Nicaragua. So Botswana, she's another one that was able to incorporate elements of her story into what she had on, and she didn't do so in a subtle way. It was a very obvious way, as it had scenes from what appeared to be her story of how she got to the Miss Universe Botswana crown. And she was able to mix that with also being very chic and stylish, as she implemented it on a blazer dress that looked like it was asymmetrical, shorter on one side, and then the part that had her story was longer on the other side. And there could be some significance behind the contrast in colors too, how it's white on one side and then it has her story with all the various different bright, vibrant colors on the other side. But this is a lesson on, if you're a pageant contestant, how to tell your story in an obvious way. You don't always have to be subtle. It can be obvious and very eye-catching and a great conversation starter when you walk into the interview room. and really could ease, nerves that a lot of pageant contestants face when they do walk into the interview room. Because who better to tell your story than yourself, especially when it's incorporated in your interview wardrobe. Cote d'Ivoire. So this was it was a masculine menswear inspired look, but it also managed to have a feminine touch to it, as it was very figure flattering and it was fitted in the right places, i.e. the waist. I saw how she had the jacket over her shoulders, and then the vest was fitted, and then the pants looked like from what I could see, looked like they were wide leg and flared out, giving her more of a feminine silhouette and a masculine inspired look. And she really stood out in this look because you don't see too many other pageant contestants with menswear inspired looks. And it looked very polished and professional, since it was a tailored suit, and it was very chic and complimented her very well and really showed that she brings edge to the competition. Honduras. So the fabric of the suit mixed with the color, it was a very rich royal blue, really made this stand out, as well as the jewel embellished bodice that was underneath the top part of this outfit. And then this also enhanced her silhouette, as it was more fitted at the waist, giving her an hourglass cinched in look. And I love the makeup that she had paired with this look. The red lip with the blue really worked, and it really was a simple yet elegant look. Iraq. So this was another cultural piece, and to me it said warrior, given it was dark, kind of like what you would see a warrior, the colors that you would see a warrior wearing. The dark, I want to say it's blue. I couldn't really tell with the lighting, but it looked like it was a dark shade of blue. And then it had the gold accents around the cape, and it looked like Middle Eastern script was inscribed within the gold on the cape. And the gold contrasted with the darker colors really made this a striking look. And again, it was a great blend of incorporating your culture into your interview look, as that's a big part of who you are. And when you're going to the interview room, you're telling a story of who you are, while also looking very chic, modern, and sophisticated. The Philippines. This look gave First Lady vibes to me too. And it was very modest and feminine, given that it was long, almost maxi length, because it stopped at the ankles. It wasn't midi length, it was almost maxi length. And it was a very appropriate length, given that this is the interview portion and you want to look professional. And it had a very soft, feminine color palette, which really fit her well, because she comes across as being very soft and feminine. And that's a great way to portray your personality, is through the colors that you wear, as well as the silhouette and structure of what you have on. And she does a great job of doing just that. And I love how she contrasted it with the pop of green that was in her shoes, which could also have significant meaning behind it, showing that she's soft and feminine, but also has a very playful and vibrant side to her. And I like that she had her hair up as well in a sleek back bun, giving the attention to the outfit. And this was overall great styling. This was a great example of how to blend contrasting textures and materials. And the oversized collar truly made this a standout piece, along with the draping over the one shoulder. And it mixed and matched lace with what looked like the taffeta material that the two-piece set was made out of. And it was a great example of how to combine femininity with power and a strong presence. This was a very bold and elegant collar, and it really looked regal, like a queen collar. And it was a great example of how to add show-stopping details to a simple yet elegant look in a very noticeable yet subtle way, as she's not adding details through bling, but through a collar that was incorporated into her suit, and she kept her accessories minimal as she didn't really need a whole lot, as the suit already said a lot by itself, despite the fact that it wasn't blinged out or in a very loud, vibrant color. And it shows that it gives you an example of how to look professional, memorable, and well put together for a high stakes interview look. Thailand. This look is all about quiet luxury and controlled power. The soft champagne gold tone really photographs well in natural light and immediately gives her an elevated and refined presence. And the asymmetrical neckline is a smart choice. It adds architecture without being loud, and it frames her shoulders and postures perfectly. And the clean, sculpted silhouette shows confidence and discipline, and the midi length keeps it classy and appropriate for a high-stakes setting like a closed-door interview. And what really sets this apart is the dramatic side drape. It introduces movement and a touch of high fashion, but because the color and fabric are subtle, it never overwhelms her. It's the perfect blend of modern pageant queen and executive polish. Her sleek, straight hair and her soft glam complete the look. Nothing competes, everything flows. This is a textbook example of using simplicity to convey sophistication, and it absolutely works for interview. So tell me in the comments, what were your favorite interview looks for the Miss Universe 2025 competition? There were a lot of stunning looks, as I said, so I'm interested to see what you all thought. And if you are a pageant contestant and you find that you need help with planning your wardrobe for any part of the pageant, don't hesitate to hit me up. I will put my link to my website in my description so you can see if my service may be right for you. And also, if you like this kind of content, please make sure that you like and subscribe to my channel, as there will be plenty more coming. So this completes today's episode, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.